All right, so let's go ahead and go over the answers to these so that way we have kind of a nice introduction into some of the key components of the IMRD format. So first part, so we did the first four are done for you, so you know what these do. How about, let's go around the room and I'll have everyone give one until we run out. So gives the results of the experimental research. Ichi, what's that part of? Yeah, R. And then how about Mubarak, describes any participants that were involved in the experiment? Methods, yes. And then how about, we've got Turkey, discusses previous studies done on the topic, tells what is known about the topic. Yes, introduction. And then Dari, compare, relates the results to previous studies. D, yes, that's the discussion. Discusses problems or limitations of the study. Guy.
I didn't do that, I just got the paper.
You did okay, all right, so how about Tran? It's D, yeah, good job. Good job, Tran. So Leo, how about contains figures, graphs, charts, tables?
Results.
Yeah, results. Okay, and then next we've got discusses the rationale, reasons why the experiment was conducted this way. How about Alex?
D.
D, okay. Is that, I actually didn't get a chance, I meant to do this beforehand and didn't get a chance to. So is that D or is that methods? It's methods? Okay, yeah, so this is methods. Yeah, we'll, I'll double check that because I meant to do this beforehand, so, but I think, maybe in both places wouldn't be a problem. How about creates the reader's interest in the topic, explains how important the topic is? Valerie? Introduction, yes. And then how about states the goal of the experiment or research that was conducted, often in the form of a research question or hypothesis. Igor?
Also introduction?
Yes, great. And then how about Natalie? Provides a clear answer as to whether the results answered the research question or confirmed the hypothesis. D, yes, discussion. All right. And then does not explain or evaluate the results with respect to the hypothesis. How about Mark? D. So this is actually, so this one may be a little weird, but I think this is going to be the results because in the discussion, you do provide a clear answer. This one does not really talk about the hypothesis. It just gives the results. Like, here's the data, here's like some graphs and stuff, but we're not really bringing in the other parts of it. All right. Next, describes why particular questions were asked and why they were asked in a certain way. Jennifer? Methods. Yeah, thank you. Suggests, recommends further research on the topic. How about Bader? D, yeah, discussion. All right, and then we've got next, provides reader with enough information to understand the paper, provides definitions for key terms. How about Hamad? I, yep, that's going to be your introduction. Outlines the methods used to collect data. June? Yeah, outlines the methods. That's in the methods section. Good job. All right. Goes from more general results to more specific in a clear and logically organized way. What is that, Angela? Methods? So we're not talking about the results when we're talking about the methods.
Discussion?
It's going to be, yeah, I think that's probably going to be, we'll check. How about as we go through it, so results discussion, that's another one we're going to double check on. But the idea is, yeah, go more general and then talk about some of the more specific ones. I think this is results, but I'm going to double check that discussion. Like, you can put a lot in the discussion and still be writing a good, logical discussion. Are there any questions about these? Besides the two that I pointed out, like, wait, I'm going to double check on that. All right, awesome. So that's, thank you everyone for sharing your answers. I know that like some of this, it can feel like, wait, we're just doing the survey. Now I have to think about writing it. But yes, we are thinking about writing it. So that means we've got this nice introduction. So right now we are going to learn how to write the introduction and the methods. And how we're going to do that is we are going to be learning from a mentor text. So I have, which that means, so is this a professional and perfect paper that I'm passing out?
Yeah.
No, this is a student paper. These are students, I think, who generally did well, but these are not perfect papers. But these are good papers to learn from, because I think if I were to pass out like, oh yeah, this is something I wrote, that's not, for some students may be able to achieve that level, but it's generally going to be really hard to achieve that level. So I want to check in with you guys. Do you want to work in your groups, or do you just want to work with the people around you? Around?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so, okay, so work with the people next to you. Form groups of like 3 or 4 people, because that's how we're going to be learning about how to write this paper. So why don't I just give you a set of information? Why don't I just do that? Any guesses? Well, when I asked like how many pages, no one really knew. I've given out lists of information, and that hasn't worked so well. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and be like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to like, you know, do this reading process. We're going to write out the directions together. You're going to go with concrete content, kind of the abstract directions that you can follow, so that you can make, again, your own concrete content. Having to create the directions gives you a better understanding, and more engagement with the writing process might preempt questions that might come up for you during writing, and that NT there is a typo. But hopefully this gives you a chance to kind of like preempt, understand some of these ideas. So what I'm doing, I want to point out is that, so make groups of 3 or 4 people around you. If you're having trouble joining a group, let me know. I can try and intervene. But I've only printed a total of 14 papers, 7 of each. So that means you're going to have to share, you're going to have to work together. So go ahead and make groups with the people around you. I'm just passing these out at random. If you end up with 2 sets in your group, make sure you're passing those along to someone else. All right. All right, what group is forming here? Remember, 3 to 4 people, not 5 to 6. All right, so are you guys a group here? Okay, perfect. So, okay. Right now, everyone has a group. Or does everyone have a group? 3 or 4 people? Okay, so. So it's 1 copy. One copy of each sample per group. So that means maybe like 2 people share, 2 people share. I'm passing out paper that we're going to be using. So. So right now, in your group, each person should have a sheet that has these boxes on it. Does everyone have this? There you go. Another thing, 1 per person. So the handout with boxes on it, 1 per person. One thing I'm going to say.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, sharing is caring, and please don't write on the paper, because I'm going to collect these so that we can bring them back and learn from them again. So please don't write on them, or if you do, like it's okay, but just make it so that it's not going to interfere with another classmate who might get that and need to read it. So what you should do is, right now, look at the introduction. So read the introduction and describe, and you're going to be making your own rules. So right now I'm going to ask for, can I have someone read the directions? How about Amma? Can you read the directions? And everyone listen to your classmate reading the directions.
Read the sample paper and production sections. Make notes about what's in each paragraph and the introduction. Based on the content, make directions for writing paper 3 that any link to 100 students can follow. Then make notes about what you will write in those sections in your own paper.
All right. So right now, like I said, you can team up with the person, but what you're doing is you're making notes like what do I read in paragraph 1? What do I read in paragraph 2? What do I read in paragraph 3? Look at the different samples and make notes about what you're reading in there so that we can make directions that you can follow. And then on your own, right by the directions, you can make notes about what you're going to include. So focus on that, the introduction. If you finish, wonderful. Move on to the methods. We'll come back in a few minutes and talk about the directions and what we should be doing in the introduction. So go ahead, go for it. We'll come back together in a few minutes.